Hey guys, welcome to Cliffy's Kitchen. It's always a pleasure having you. This is a place where we don't just tell you what to do, but we show you because we want you to do it just as good. Today I'll be showing you how to properly season your chicken for ultimate and optimum taste. After watching this video, you won't be shy of cooking your chicken or your any other meat from now on, because I'm going to show you how to do it. It is said that you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. But if you teach him how to fish, you feed him for life. I want to teach you so you can help yourself, not just today, but later on. So come with me on the journey, you won't regret it. Here we have at least 6 seasonings, the main ones that we use to season poultry, beef, pork, fish, you name it. For example, we have our scallion, we have garlic, and then ginger, our onion, our Scotch bonnet pepper, and of course our pimento. This is the grain and this is some grounded one. So we will show you how we go about preparing these as we move on. I am first going to prepare my scallion. So I examine them to see what I need to get rid of, and if you notice, the root section is still on it, so you would get that off, and then you would get off these little areas here that seems to be fading a little, and up the top here you would get off these areas because you don't want anything unsightly to appear on your plate or of your guest or even on your own plate. And this is now ready for washing. In preparation to gain the meat, this is how I cut my scallion. First, if the size of the stalk is like that, I would cut it in 2, just 2 where it is big enough. And then I'm not gonna make very big cuts. Okay. Time to take care of my onion now. Looking good. It's healthy, so in getting off the trash off of it, you could start. You notice some of it is ready to come off, but for a good way to get it done is to aim for this section, and you use a sharp knife, and you do that, and it opens you up to getting off the rest pretty easy. Notice. Right, the rind coming out is actually getting in your eyes already. It's a very good onion, and you get off the bottom section like that, and this is ready. Get rid of these. Alright, I don't need to use all of this onion, so I'm just going to cut off what I need for this particular exercise. I will use this amount, and like that. You do not want the pieces to be too big, so what do you do next? Well, this is what I do. That's good enough, and I do the same with these. And that's good enough. Now it's time for our garlic. Notice there's a full head of garlic. To get into the cloves, you have to strip it, just like that. You're not going to be using maybe all of this head one time, so you just take off enough for a set of seasoning that you're going to do. When you get them off, of course, you move the excess trash, and you're going to crush these, not crush them out. And there's also another way. You could use your knife and clip off the harder ends and then strip it, but I'll show you both ways. It's now time to get the skin off my garlic. So you can do it two ways. You can crush it like this. Take the skin off. I notice it is still together, but it plumps up everything, so it's easy to just get off one time. Another. Right, this is to me, the easier way. Or if you don't want to do that, you could do this. This is a little more difficult, but yes, you could use your knife and do the stripping. This is gonna take you a lot of time, but I'm just showing you both ways how it can be done. You notice I would have done 2 or 3 others by just half crushing it, like how I do the first 2. So my garlic is now ready. Now it's time to cut up my garlic. Do them one at a time. This knife is very sharp, so you got to be careful handling it. Okay, another one. The garlic is also very potent in flavor. It is very flexible too. Next is my Scotch bonnet. Already just need to cut these a little smaller. Yes, this is great. This is good enough. Now it's time to clean up your ginger. The skin is not thick. It's pretty thin. So you get a sharp knife and you aim for it. Don't go too deep. You could even scrape it if you want, but you might have to do that 2-3 times. Notice you have to exert some pressure on the knife and control it with a stiff movement so that you don't go too deep. You don't want to waste your ginger. You want to peel it as thin as possible. Yeah. And as you know, ginger is one of these spices. It has so many uses. I don't know all of them, but I know it makes a good tea. It brings up the flavor in your meat, in your food, whatever you prepare. Ginger, it's a tuber. It bears under the earth, right? But let me tell you something. The potency of this one little piece here can do so much for your seasoning that you wouldn't want to cook without it. This is okay now. Well, now it's time for my ginger. Cutting up this ginger, you want to cut it as small as ever. No one wants to have a big piece of ginger in their mouth either, so you cut it in little pegs like this. Right, and then you get down to size here. Notice how small. This is how you want your ginger, because you want it to be distributed right throughout the meat, right? Throughout the whole pot, not 1 or 2 big pieces, and then when it gets into the mouth, it's not the easiest thing to deal with by way of that bursting of burn that you're gonna get. So the smaller it is, those can even be chewed up, and you know it's very good. It helps your food to digest very fast. So this is a nice amount of ginger to go into this one cooking. Okay, so much for that. Everything looking good. And this is the final thing for right now, my thyme. Of course, let me show you what you can do with your thyme. If you think too much stick is there, you could take off a little of the leaves and cut off the bigger part of the sticks, get rid of them. Like here. Yes, the rest seem to be quite alright, not too much sticks. Let me show you something, guys. This piece of thyme here, let me show you another way you could apply it to your pot. Notice the leaves are this way. You could get the leaves off to avoid the stick if you don't want to have anything to do with the stick on your plate. So you could turn it this way and pull against how the leaves are on the stalk. So you would do like this. And so you have, get rid of the stalk, and yet you have your thyme leaf just the same. Today we're going to be seasoning up chicken, and all of these are now ready to be applied. So we just scrape it out right over here all together, and this alright. Added to that, I'm going to put just 1 spoon of my special blend. Okay, just this 1 spoon will do. And then we're going to rub it in. Alright, let me kind of stir it through like this first. The final thing from a seasoning my chicken is salt. This was a 4-pound chicken, and so half a tablespoon of salt is sufficient to get this tasting just how we would want it. Not too much, not too little. Here it is. Just sprinkle it all over, and then it's time to get it together now. Time to rub in the seasoning now in the meat. Rubbing it in like this is making sure that it is evenly distributed, and the flavor will really be so nicely enhanced, because you know, from this stage it was done properly. And notice we are not lacking of quantity, so you will have a very nice meal when you have this finally from the oven later or from your pot. And that takes care of seasoning up a chicken from scratch. Our seasoning preparation and our seasoning the chicken, this is the final effect. It looks good, it smells good, and we're going to let that go on marinating for a while before we put it onto the fire. Thank you guys for watching this seasoning video. I hope you have learned something that you can use in your kitchen for seasoning, and if you do, you're gonna find that you're gonna be having happy meals. What I want to do, please remember, like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. Tell them to share it with their friends. This is how you show the love, and I appreciate it so much. Please stay around for my next video and you won't be disappointed.